Haley, who's also running for president, was asked about the shooting in Maine yesterday. She was on Hannity. And I just want y'all to hear what she had to say about what we need to do. Go ahead, play it.
What do you see as the underlying cause of a lot of these shootings?
I mean, first of all, Sean, I'll tell you, the world is on fire. I mean, we see it. We see it with wars around the world. We see it in our schools. We see it with protests on college campuses. We're seeing it here. But what does this come down to? We have got to start really getting focused and serious. That means we need serious law and order. That means that we need to defund sanctuary cities. But that means we need to acknowledge the cancer in America that is mental health. 1 in 3 Americans suffers from mental health. If treated, they can live a perfectly normal life. If not, it spirals out. We see more and more young people suffering from stress, depression, and that's leading to addiction. We don't have enough mental health therapists. We don't have enough mental health treatment centers, and we don't have enough addiction centers. And what I'll tell you is we're watching now, 80% of our mass shootings are mental health related.
80% of our mass shootings are gun related. It's basically just AR-15.
How about 100%
yeah,
of our mass shootings are gun related?
110%. 110%.
Also, like, probably 100% of mass shootings are mental health related. It's always crazy to shoot a bunch of people up. There's never going to be a time where like, that one was reasonable. We don't have any mass shootings where we was like, no one's mad at this one. Like, it's all messed up. So I don't even know what they mean. 2, they be the main ones cutting off resources for mental health. Like, whenever it comes to anything for like a child care, family care, medical, like Medicare stuff, they cut that stuff off. They hate Obamacare. They hate the idea of universal health care. They not really concerned about no one's mental health. They only bring it up so we won't talk about gun laws. That's all they care about, is us not talking about getting guns out of the way.
I just heard her speechwriters being like, make sure you put the emotion on this part. Like, I didn't buy it. Sorry, I just don't buy that from her.
The world is on fire.
Here was the problem for me. What the hell are the sanctuary cities? That was like the first thing after the world is on fire. We have to cut back on these sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
How did that play into this shooting in Maine? It's like they got these talking points. You got to make sure you talk about being tough on crime. She dropped that in.
Law
sanctuary
and order.
Immigrants, boom. Yeah. You know, it's wild to me. It's like, no one checked the sanctuary cities. Why?
And they don't never look at no other trends. Like 99% of the shooters is men. Most of them is white dudes. A lot of them have these ideologies that kind of align with this party. They don't never want to look at those macro causes. It's always just like mental health, man. You never know the hearts and minds of who's next to us.
I hate to be shallow too, but I know
really you.
Yeah, because it's so unlike me.
Bullshit.
But 2022 is a lot of people, and I would have been expecting continued coverage since that night through today, and it came and went.
They still ain't found the dude.
That my point exactly. That's the point I'm making, though.
Right. So what are you saying, Lamont?
Conspiracy wise,
not even conspiracy, because I don't believe in conspiracies. It's just I find it odd that who he was and who his targets were. And now it's second page already. It's third page. This 22 is not slight.
No, that's how many. That's a lot of people.
That's 24-hour coverage.
It was 18 people. 18 people confirmed dead.
Oh, okay.
Right, 18. Okay.
And I promise you, if he were a brown shooter, it'd be a good few weeks, few months of coverage like that, right? Like remembering that, how the optics.
Also,
wow.
Sarah, you brought this up earlier, and it kind of made me think about what Lamont just said too. Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it, it has become so unreliable.
Correct.
On purpose. It's been so purposefully dismantled by Elon Musk.
Right.
You can't trust the information anymore. So we really are showing up with Lamont thinking it's 22. At one point, I heard it was 60 people injured and 22 people shot. Now, Karen had the real numbers from the paper when we first showed up. I think it's Conspiracy Theory Friday. I feel like it's purposeful that we don't have like unifying facts and information anymore.
I agree. It is on purpose. And it's about to get worse. I think, Sarah alluded to that too, as we have a new Speaker of the House who came in unanimously on the Republican side with 220 votes. Mike Johnson, who said he had a black son that I can't seem to find. I think there was one picture of this son, but he ain't in none of your family photos.
His black son is hanging out with Tim Scott's girlfriend. So that's why we can't. Yeah,
so hold on. Wait. So Tim Scott's girlfriend is the baby's mama?
I just think they hanging out together, and that's why it's so hard to find them. Like they out there. We didn't put out a search party.
I see what you're saying.
No, she doesn't exist, is what you're saying.
Right.
No, she just go to a different school.
She lives in Canada.
Yeah,
right.
He got a glamour shot in his wallet of her, but it's just hard to see her.
Again, I
came with the wallet though.
I hate to be shallow, but okay. So we had Dean Phillips, right? And then now this new speaker, what's his name?
Mike Johnson.
You have never heard or seen Mike Johnson.
No.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, Speaker of the motherfucking House.
Yep.
No way. I don't believe it.
Proudly repping Louisiana. I
don't believe it.
Well, we have seen him. Remember, there was Stacey Plaskett. There was a man that gave her a piece of paper, Jim Jordan. She was sitting next to him from the Virgin Islands. They were in a hearing. Some man reached over her shoulder with a piece of paper. She stood up and threw it at him and then walked back as she was cussing him out.
Okay.
That was Mike Johnson.
Okay.
Remember
I was
that.
too busy looking at Stacey. I didn't even notice that man.
Okay.
That was Mike Johnson.
This sounds like season 2. I feel
like
well,
here we are. Here we are.
Okay.
But he
of what not to watch.
Thank you. It's right up there with Frasier, which I think is getting canceled.
Yes.
The new iteration of Frasier.
I hope so.
The what not to watch list.
So they asked him about the shooting, and in true form, like Nikki Haley, he's let's just play it.
If you remember, in the late 60s, we invented things like no-fault divorce laws. We invented the sexual revolution. We invented radical feminism. We invented legalized abortion in 1973, where the state, the government sanctions the killing of the unborn. I mean, we know that we're living in a completely amoral society. And so people say, how can a young person go into their schoolhouse and open fire on their classmates? Because we've taught a whole generation, couple of generations now of Americans that there is no right and wrong.
Yeah,
okay,
so
I just need to say, I'm going to need a chiropractor. I can't even do my show. Karen, you have ruined. I'm going to have to cancel this show on Monday because my neck snapped completely.
This is true foolishness.
But I actually kind of agree, though.
You know what? Okay.
That's what the
last part. The last part.
Okay. All right.
The fuck up.
Thank you, Smith.
Wait a minute. The last part, all the conservatives here on this show right now, who I'm looking at, you trying to tell me you disagree with the last part?
Here's what I disagree with. The reason why we have mass shootings, because it was a broader question. It wasn't this particular one.
I was talking about his answer.
No fault of divorce laws, feminism, Roe v. Wade. This is why kids don't have any structure. Mothers aren't in the houses. The people, there's no more moral fiber. Yeah, no, I roundly disagree with why we have mass shootings. I think that this country is a ball of hypocrisy. And in a ball of hypocrisy, it's hard to tell children what to do. Do it as I say, it's not as I do. It's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. But it's people like this who hold up this due north of morality when they're in bathrooms tapping on the thing, glory holing, out there, I have sinned and all of this bullcrap, getting people to drink Kool-Aid and killing them. And, so it's that timeout is a problem. I think timeout does nothing. I don't think timeout is good. I feel like there's just no communication.
Ain't like that ain't why they shooting up stuff. And also like this last dude was 40. He ain't no kid. Like they just be saying stuff, man.
He remembers TV dinners, Karen. He remembers.
Yes, he does.
Right. This dude sound like me when I didn't read the book, but I still tried to do the book report. Yeah. They like, so what do you think about the grapes? What do you think about Great Gatsby? Oh man, it was like a lot of stuff going on back then. We got a lot of problems. I think like the Great Depression, maybe something with that. Like that's what he sound like instead of just talking about what happened yesterday.